We are, there you go. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to give it another minute or two. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we're going to give it probably about 12:30 now, and we're going to give it about 2 more minutes, see who else joins, and then we'll get started. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. We really appreciate it, and we hope we have some helpful information to share with everyone. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, we're going to get started. Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for taking time out of your day. We're going to go through some ideas on collaboration, specifically really focused around Microsoft Teams and Zoom today. I hope everyone is well. I hope everybody's doing okay. I know our team here at Integrated Technology Systems, everybody wishes you the best, and we're doing our best to support you and take care of you. And part of that is working on these webinars to help with information that we find helpful while we're all working from home in these unprecedented times. So this is my agenda for today. We're going to talk a little bit about collaboration, why email is not enough. Probably you're already seeing that either people are texting or people are finding other ways. We're going to talk about Microsoft Teams. We're going to talk about Zoom, and we're going to compare Teams versus Zoom. Really, my Zoom piece has a contrasting piece of Teams and Zooms and what to use when and where. And then we're going to open up, allow everybody to talk, and Q&A, allow question and answer on everything that people want to answer, hopefully move forward, to help people move forward in next steps. So kind of talking about why email is not enough. I can tell you right now, my email box is full. I get emails from all of you. I get emails from vendors. I get emails from our remote tools. And if my people want a quick answer to something, it's not going to happen if they send me an email. It's basically, they're going to see, I'll see it 20, 30 minutes later. Times I close my email when I really got to focus. So messages from coworkers all get lost. And that's really where a lot of this collaboration comes from the team's perspective. And with all of us working from home and our coworkers not in the next office, the need for instant communication is a lot more needed. So I know for me, I'd walk in with Jay, I'd pop across and say, hey, can we talk? He'd pop into my office, somebody pop in. That's now not happening. Basically, that instant chat, that collaboration is the way we're able to communicate. And we want those instant notifications similar to texting. We want to pop up, we want to bing, we want some sort of auditory bubble or something popping up saying, hey, somebody's trying to get a hold of us, and we can quickly message them back without the same formatting of email. So why Microsoft Teams? As I said before, we're now all working from home. It's unprecedented. But the change of events, as I said, we can no longer walk across the office or have a quick impromptu meeting or pull people into a conference room. And so this changes the dynamics of communication and collaboration inside our organizations, right? It's not efficient to pick up the phone and call somebody every time you need to do something. And maybe you need to communicate with 2 or 3 people or a group of people, or you're working on a project, and Teams allows for some of that collaboration. In Microsoft Teams, we use it, for instance, I'll chat with 1 or 2 people. I have a question about something. I'll find them in Teams. I'll send a chat. The chats are persistent. They stay there, very much similar to texting, or I'll send to many peers. We can do a quick video conference. I've done about 2 or 3 video conferences with peers today, where I've actually just in Teams hit the video icon, their screen pop, and we do a quick video conference, and you have to accept it. It's not something that just pops up and somebody's there. So it really works. And on top of it, we can share a screen. So I can share my screen and say, hey, I'm working with a spreadsheet. I'm working this document. What do you think? And they can see my screen, or vice versa, they can see their screen. In a meeting, we've done this where screens are different people are sharing screens between users and stuff. And on top of it, which is a little more advanced, you can create groups for departments, projects. We created a group in Teams that we used for setting you all up for remote access. We have spreadsheets in there, we have collaboration pieces, we have other tools and information. They're all sitting as a remote access piece that allows all of us to collaborate, see what documents they have, ask questions, other pieces, all in there that allowed us to really perform. So Teams is a real collaboration platform that allows us to extend. And then we get the question, so how much does Teams cost? Well, that really is interesting. If you have a Microsoft Office 365 account, which most of you do, some are on Gmail, Google, some are in Intermedia. Even those people, we can get it for you for nothing for right now. If you're in Office 365, you can have, and you're on a Business Essential account or creator, it's included in your subscription. The only thing that's not included is telephone numbers, and if you want to use it as a phone system, which is outside the scope really of this meeting today or call. If you're not in Office 365, Microsoft is giving a 6-month subscription for free at this time. We can set it up, we can sign you up, you can get a tenant, you can collaborate in there all you want and do what you need to. So how are we using it? As I referenced before, 90% of our internal communication is via Teams. We're doing quite a bit of chats. I know I've had questions with accounting about orders and stuff, and we chatted about it, quickly got it resolved. Jay and I, as all of you know, Jay, have had a few different things even about setting this up. We've gone back and forth in some chats. We've done some videos. We've done some collaborations. We have 2 meetings a day with our technical team. They're 8:30 and 3:30 in the afternoon. Those meetings are all done in Teams. They're all video. Most people participate in the video. I'm always on video. Jay's always on video. And it really brings the team and closeness together, I feel. And basically, it really works as easily and simply. It's not very technical. We've also gone a step further. We no longer have a file server, something we were one of the first. We want to do this for ourselves. We integrated our whole file system into Microsoft SharePoint and Teams. So all our data is in Office 365, so we can easily collaborate inside Teams with our data. And then you say, well, I'm not always at my computer. I may have my tablet, I may have my phone, I may have anything else. Teams, you can have it installed on any of those devices. So I have it on my computer, I have it on my phone, I have it on my tablet. I have pretty much the same features along the way on almost all the devices. I can video chat, I can make calls, I can open files up, I can see team groups, I can pretty much do anything on any device. And the feel and look is very similar. Obviously, some of the features are a little different with the different screen sizes. So I'm going to ask Jay to work with me on this, and we're going to do a quick demo of Teams, and I'm going to unmute Jay right this second so we can talk. Jay, you ready?
I am.
Terrific. So let me change the sharing. Okay. So you're going to see, Jay, can you type me right now a quick chat in Teams? Terrific. Terrific. Okay. So Jay, we're going to do, without doing some feedback, I'm going to call you on a video right this second. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So here everybody see on the top right here, all I'm going to do in that is I'm going to do a video call at the moment.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Jay. How are you?
Doing great.
So as you can see Jay's house, you can see my house, you can see we're video conferencing that easily. In the middle of that, if I wanted to share my screen, I could share different pieces of my screen, and Jay would then see the screen with the video conference as well. So you can see all sorts of different things that he could then see, and he would see my screen and be able to take control of it. Jay, we're going to exit the video now.
Okay.
And then we're going to go collaborate on the document. Okay. So we have a team share in this demo account that we created called sharing, where we have a team. We've uploaded a file into the team site here, this demo spreadsheet. Jay's opened the file as well. Jay, are you in the file now?
I am.
Okay. Jay, can you do me a favor? Can you make the change on where it says Jay change to that numbers down there? And you'll see JD, which is Jay Edlin demo, and he just made a change to the file right there. Now, Jay, you're going to see me make a change on this.
That I did. And on my screen, it shows that Michael Coopersmith demo just made that similar change. One of the things you'll also notice is on the top bar inside the file, if you go across where it says File, Home, Insert Data, you'll see that my initials are listed within that file. It says JD. So if there are multiple people in there, if you had more than just two of you, you would see whoever else is also in that file.
So on top of it, say we want to edit the file, and you can turn around and you can edit the file if you wanted to, and actually Excel if you wanted to later. So you don't have to just do it in the web browser. You can actually open the file and all the linkage and everything else stays the same and is accessible inside Teams or inside Excel. And then the file just when you save it, it's automatically linked back up.
And those features will also include the same exact feature set that you see here, that you can actually also see if other people are also in that collaboration document. So you'll also see that I'm in the document. If Michael was to open it in Excel, he would still see my initials listed in the document.
That is correct. And I can open this document on my phone as well. So, okay, Jay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
We had a request. Okay. We have a request. Can we redo that spreadsheet demo again? Okay. So what, okay, we're going to do the spreadsheet again. Okay, Jay?
Okay.
So we're in Teams here. Jan and I are chatting. We're going to go to Teams here. We're going to go to our sharing team. We're going to go into our channel general. In the channel, Jay and I can chat. And then we could chat in this channel, which would generally have more people than the two of us in the channel. Or we're going to go to the files. In there, we have file, which we can upload a new file. We can create new files, and we can sync this data. And then we're going to right now open the spreadsheet. Okay. And in the spreadsheet, I'm going to add another field. Okay, Jay, do you see on your side that field? Oh, thank you, Jay, for putting column 2 there. Terrific. So that's okay. And now that file is saved there. Jay, I'm going to close the file on my end, and can you make a change to the file now on your end? And then I'm going to open the file back up.
Done.
Okay. What change did you make? Oh, perfect. See? So it's synced up, and we're there. Okay, perfect. Okay. Perfect. We're going to go back to the presentation. Okay. Hope that's helpful. That gives us a brief overview of what Teams can do, how it works. Some of the video conferencing, some of the features will need to be installed on your employees' home computers. That's the thing we'll have to talk to you case by case about, because we cannot do video conferencing or audio chatting if they're remotely controlling their computer in the office. They can do the chats, they can do the team collaboration piece, but they cannot do any of the audio video pieces if it's on their office computer. So those are things we'll talk about separately with each of you, as if you decide you want to move forward with Teams and how we want to roll it out. So I know, Zoom has been, and so we're going to segue to Zoom at the point. Zoom has done a wonderful thing, super smart idea. Basically give it away to the educational institutions, give it away to the health institutions, and they really have made a name for themselves in this marketplace. It's a great platform. We've been a subscriber to it for years. And it's wonderful for holding company meetings. It's actually, and I use it personally for meetings where I have to share a sales presentation, I have to do something with somebody that's not an Office 365 customer or is not as technically savvy. I find I send them a Zoom invite, they go download the piece, they don't have to sign up for an account, they just basically run the software and the Zoom meeting starts. And Teams does have one limitation that Zoom doesn't. In Teams right now, you can only see the 4 most recent people in a video conference. In Zoom, you can see a lot more people and you can scroll through the people that are in the meeting. So it's a big difference. However, Zoom does not provide that day-to-day instant chat and video collaboration. You have to send a meeting invite for a Zoom call, or you have to start a meeting and somebody has to log into it. It's not like everybody's in it and chatting and saying, hey, I want to call you, I want to video chat. It's much more of a conference, if you want to put it in relics, much more of a traditional conference call type setup. I'm setting up a meeting with you, here you log into it, and we can host it. It also includes a dial-in phone number. A lot of times I'll see meetings that I'll host where people with Zoom will just dial into the number because there's no presentation, and it works really well for that. We've done meetings, I've set it up and used it for just conference calls at times as well. Teams only includes a phone number and a paid option, and it's $4 per user for that per month. And the phone numbers are available even inside the free Zoom options. And as I said, we use Zoom for video, phone and video conference with clients and vendors. There's been some concerns, and there's been definitely articles in the New York Times, articles in the Wall Street Journal about some security issues and about hackers jumping into meetings. As I looked into this, there was some definitely privacy concerns with Zoom, but a lot of the hacker jumping in are people not understanding the security settings that are available to them in Zoom. And we're going to go through a little bit of that, of basically some Q&A, some ideas to help you with that. So when you're setting up a meeting, there are some options that are there that people want to make sure of. First of all, never put out your personal meeting ID in any social media whatsoever. Never send it out to the world. Once you do that, basically they can jumpstart into a meeting. You can send out a meeting where, just as you join this, the people are required to register for the meeting. May not always be the best thing. Hang on one second. Bear with me one second. Okay. Somebody was trying. So I'm sorry, I'll continue on. So you have a meeting password. You can put a meeting password of the meeting. So somebody needs to know the meeting password, although I find it a little funny that Zoom does send out the meeting password in the invitation. So if somebody hijacked the email, they would get it. That's the piece. The other part is, at times, you may not want to start the meeting with your video on for you or your participants. Give them the option to turn it on. I usually want my video off when I start a Zoom meeting, and I want the option to turn it on. I don't necessarily want everybody to be in the position where it's on at the moment. This isn't some advanced options here, are some enable join before host. So what that option says is anybody who joins the meeting can basically get in and start collaborating. Whereas if you say that enable, if you don't check that, you have to sign in as the host, and the meeting starts when you sign in. If you're going to just use it for a conference call, you need to check that box, because the meeting will not start without somebody actually logging into it. The other option you have here is mute participants. So maybe you don't want everybody chatting on entry. You want them to unmute themselves. And then this is a really interesting one, enable waiting room. So you as the host of the meeting can basically see who's come in, and I'll basically allow them to enter the meeting. So they come in and they're saying there's a waiting room, and you have to check them into the meeting. And then when we're in the meeting, we have to understand our controls. So there's some controls here. We have our basic audio controls, which we can choose what audio pieces we're using. Our video pieces, whether we're doing video or stopping video. And this is a very important one, the sharing piece. If you hit this up arrow here, you can say who can share the video, who can share the screen, and who cannot share the screen. So maybe it's a management meeting or something else where management only wants a person to do it, And so you can choose who can share it, who can stop sharing, and these are controls in there that can basically understand that. I always also leave a lot of times the chat window open so I can see what's happening. I mean, the participants window, so I can see who's in the meeting. So if somebody accidentally hijacked the meeting, you'd immediately see somebody else in there, and you as the host can actually exit them from the meeting or mute them or do whatever you need to do at the moment. So there's been a lot of questions about different plans and different offerings on Zoom, and this is basically what it is. Zoom is taking the 40-minute limit away on educational institutions. For business, that limitation's still there for group meetings. One-to-one is you can do as long as you want. We are using the pro plans for a select number of people. There are ways you can use them for multiple people, although it does have its challenges. And you have some of the admin feature controls more so, and basically you can record it as well. So these are some of the plans and different pieces that come along with the different plans. I think for most of us, probably the basic pro and business plan, although the business plan does have a minimum of 10 people. So you're looking at $200 a month for a minimum for the business plan. However, you can brand it. So that's an interesting point. If you're really going out to customers and other stuff, you can brand it with your name and your custom emails with it. So these are some of the tools, as we said, leading from our other webinar that we have. You know, we're all using remote access tools to access our computers, access our data. Video conferencing, the two we focus on really in this meeting are Zoom and Microsoft Teams. Really, you can, it's internal only without a subscription. And then there's GoToMeeting, there's Google Hangout. For chat, Microsoft Teams, there is Slack. We're not really focused on that. And there's Google Hangouts. One of the things, as I said before, if your users are logging into the office, and most of these tools will need to be installed on their home computer for audio and video to work together. That's what we have today. I'm going to basically open up now, and allow everybody to talk. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves. Everybody's muted still.
Michael, I have a question.
Yes, who is this?
It's Danny from EDA.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good.
So now that a lot of people are working from home and they're using their personal laptops or computers, do you guys have a suggestion of a way that we would be able to remote into their computer to help them out with some things? Because we've been running into...
yeah, we can talk about that offline. Jay and I can
Okay.
talk about it with you offline.
Okay, thanks.
So, any other questions that anybody has?
Hi, Michael. My name is Ian. I work with Tom over at Bridgewater.
Hi, Ian.
I was curious if you could talk to the security of Teams. Can folks share sensitive information over Teams and understand that it's protected? And I guess the secondary question is, we use GChat, so I'm curious if you know if the security measures in GChat are similar.
They're very similar. They're all tied into the same thing. So I read the security pieces. It's end-to-end encryption in Zoom. So Zoom does have end-to-end encryption in the conversation between people and sharing data. I know Google's business piece, I believe, follows a lot of the HIPAA and SOX compliance. So I would have to believe yes if you're using the business version. If you're using the free version with a Gmail account, the answer is no.
Got it.
So that's a big piece that everybody should understand. If you're using anything with a Microsoft, Ian, thank you for bringing this up. If you're using anything with a Microsoft account, if you're using anything with a Microsoft.com account, an Outlook.com account, a Gmail.com account, a Yahoo account, you should not expect any level of privacy. It will not pass because basically the way they're giving the data away for free is they're mining the metadata on those files to see what type of conversations and stuff happen. The ULIP specifically says you cannot expect any privacy.
Hi, Michael. Can you repeat that one last time?
If you're using any of the personal offerings, excuse me, Outlook.com account, if you're logging into something with an Outlook.com account, a Hotmail account, a Gmail account, a Yahoo account, and you're using one of their services for chatting, sharing files, any collaboration, any content in there is available to those companies for data mining.
Just to be clear, for G Suite users on the business side who have, say, their business as their handle at bridgewateradv.com, for instance, that's behind the G Suite platform and is secure. But if you're using your personal Gmail, that's where you want to move.
Yes, that is correct.
And that same policy extends to Microsoft as well. So if you're using Teams and you're not using their free account, but say you have Office 365 for email and your Office applications and using Teams through that, it's also secure. The same, with the exact same security that you have on the other products that you're licensed for. As far as other features of security, that there are other levels that we could talk about offline in another conversation. They do get rather complex based on the needs. So.
David, you had a question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
How you doing? Good job, guys. I won't bother you with my personal tech glitches. What's the best way? You know, I have people who obviously don't have the benefit of this very fine webinar. How can I most quickly teach them this stuff? Because you know me, I'm not.
Are you talking to your
cleverest.
internal staff, or you're talking dealing with clients?
No, even you know, other adults. I mean, given my age, my circles are older people, a lot of whom are not even as tech friendly as I.
There are some, if you reach back out to me later, there are some, Zoom actually has a bunch of right now video webinars out there, and there's some YouTube stuff on it that basically can help with some of those pieces.
Okay, great, great. This was very helpful.
Any other questions?
So I have a question about post-crisis. Once we're all back in our office, hopefully sooner rather than later, how do you see offices continuing to use chat or Teams paired with Zoom on an ongoing basis?
I think, and I think I'll ask Jay to chime in with me. I think Teams, once they're back in the office, fits really like a glove. You know, once you're in the office, even, right, you're sitting there with the person next to you. And even in times it was Jay and I would do this, or other people, hey, do you have a minute for me to stop in your office, right? Versus picking up the phone or whatever else. Can we have a quick, so it's that quick chat, it's that quick piece, it's that, you know, you're stepping out for a meeting, hey, I need you for 10 minutes before you get in there. It really allows that instant collaboration.
Yeah, we started using Teams in our office, so it's about 2.5 years ago at this point. And as Microsoft has continually developed more and more features within it, it's become more of a central hub for us, which is one of the things that prompted us to move our file system to SharePoint. But it is something that we use consistently throughout the day. If we need help from each other, we're not getting up from our desk to walk over and stand over someone. We would chat with them in Teams to see if, as Michael said, do they have a minute, or if they could just provide a quick answer to somebody to allow someone basically to move a ticket forward without having to stop working. So Teams is definitely something that will easily continue back to when we move back to our, you know, sort of the regular office work. Most definitely. Whereas Zoom, you know, it'll just be more for that presentations and you won't necessarily be having as many Zoom meetings. You'll just maybe reserve those for clients or something to that effect.
So last question, I'm sorry for asking so many.
Please,
Have
we
you been
enjoy
able to, have you been able to quantify the impact on efficiency since you switched to using Teams? Meaning, are you spending less time in the office trying to get to offices or get to meetings, or, you know, why don't you come over to my desk and it takes a few minutes rather than just hopping on Teams and working together? Have you been able to quantify the impact that's had at your firm?
I can't.
I'll take that if you don't
Yeah.
mind, Michael.
Please.
Most definitely. Specifically when, at least from our standpoint as a technician standpoint, if we have, say, an application update to roll out to however many computers, we have the ability now to all work remotely, say in the evening at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and roll through 60, 70 computers, updating the spreadsheet as we go. Everybody's assigned to a certain thing. And now there's a control factor. So whoever is basically managing that project has the ability to see everything being done in real time as people go and check off which computer they just updated or which application was updated. So it absolutely has increased the ability to be productive and to manage that production, so that we can see where some gaps are, because either someone was struggling and having a difficult time, because you see their updates are much slower than someone else's. So it allows us to jump in and kind of see what's going on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Terrific. What we're going to do,
Thank you, Michael.
anytime, please reach out to our team. Team knows if you want to set up teams for your organization, reach out to Jay or myself, because we want to make sure we roll it out in a systematic way. We want to understand what your objectives are. What we're probably going to say to you is, if we're going to roll out teams, we're going to roll it out basically at the first stages for chat, some small teams setups, and audio video collaboration. And then if we were talking about file systems, that would be a later conversation.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much.
And of
Thank
course,
you.
if you know of any other companies that are looking for help with Teams, please certainly let them know that we're here to help.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Thank you, guys.
Be safe.
Thank you.